Greetings everyone, please come on to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything's gonna boot on up. Give me a turn the live chat windows and probably turn on my macros. Macros are on. Okay, live chat windows are online. I think everything's good to go. Oops. Is YouTube actually bringing up? There it goes. And let me check my other computer. And everything is good to go. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. As well on the south side is the Orange R Von Bolt. We got F Tiger. As well on the north side is the Cobalt Ice Drake. We got Kuwu. I don't know how to actually properly pronounce that. Q U Q U Q U and Q. Either way, this is a high funds map, so double income. So this game's going to get very aggressive very quickly. So I always have a bit of trouble with catching, not realizing of, excuse me, how quickly this game can escalate with high funds. You have a tank now pulling the field. Tank to counter tank. Drake's tanks are completely and utterly ordinary, while Von Bolt's tanks will have +10/+10. Drake's course has better naval units, but that's not exactly super important in this map. There are some seaports, but they're rarely ever used. I guess maybe plus movement you want to go for Black Bow's infantry drop. Got now artillery piece over here. Good number of mountains over here. Third tank. Tank infantry. Right now there is a tank and range tank, but will of course be on top of a city. So 3 defense towers plus a +10/+10. No comm towers captured up by either player. We've got one pair of comm towers in the corners and another pair of comm towers in the other corners. So in the 4 corners of the earth. Double taps that tank there. Will be in range of a tank, but only of a tank. Interrupts capture, which could result in a first strike from this tank at least. It'll be an open ground or pulls back the infantry unit off that city. T-copter here. So it looks like Drake does take some early victories. Tank hits tank. And looks like he's actually heading down south with his tanks. Maybe a medium tank to help stabilize this region. Another tank and artillery. 28 versus 28,000 income, so they're getting to a pretty high point where they can afford a Neo tank per turn. Does get a good shot there. It will be at 3 health next turn, but there's a follow-up reserve tank here. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and tank. We do have a mech over here. Tank will strike tank. Tank will finish off tank. Hits infantry unit there. Tank hits tank from the city and has the fire support of artillery unit with a pair more tanks there. It feels like Drake is in a good position, but these tanks are starting to reinforce this region. Battlecopter heading up north. But can easily go right and not lose any travel time or turns due to the fact that there's no Pythagorean theorem in this game. Artillery, tank, and battlecopter with another tank. So both players not teching up the moment, just eyeing for a large number of lighter units is probably a good call. Does hit another tank first. And we've got a medium tank, anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. So we've got the first medium tank on the field. A lot of captures there, 34 versus 30, 36 versus 30,000 funds. And looks like a Vonbolt has 2 comm towers, and Drake only has the 1 and no T-copter for getting it. Mech picks off infantry unit there, tank hits tank. And he will enter range of the artillery. So either the tank or the mech will be shelled. Does shell the tank, hits tank. Does finish off tank there. 5 infantry could suffer the mech before the mech takes a shot. Decides to use it secondarily. Anti-air infantry. Remember, Drake's battlecopter is less firepower and he only has 1 copter at the moment, so minus 20% fire is still quite significant. We could see a tsunami and or typhoon relatively soon as well. Does trick a couple of these units. Hits the infantry unit there. The city booby flips next turn, or use the 5 health tank to interrupt it. Nope, 5 health tank's actually out of range. Got a typhoon now available. Strikes the artillery. Mech strikes the artillery. Tank hits anti-air. Medium tank, mech, artillery, and another battlecopter. There possibly could be Ex Machina next turn. It probably would strike over there. It does do strike the location of the most amount of damage dealt. Not damage, value. Value damage dealt. Another medium tank. Tank hits tank. And do now have the Ex Machina available. So if the medium tank nearby could strike over here. I have a good feeling that actually now 2 battlecopters, medium tank, anti-air. I think it's going to strike right there. Could strike right here. Don't think anything over here will grab it, so I think it will strike right here. I did guess correctly. Or it either struck right here or right here. Can't tell you for which one of those tiles. Battlecopter strikes tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Mech finish off tank. Hits infantry. Hits infantry. Medium tank push way forward. Nothing stopped the battlecopter in this region. Tank does strike tank. And thanks to Ex Machina, is effectively a double turn in this region. Neo tank got deployed in the field, which help him close the distance. Just parry infantry here using a tank, artillery, and medium tank to hold off the region. Strikes the battlecopter there with the medium tank. However, with plus 10% defense with the plus power and super power activated, extra defense makes the battlecopter resistant to bullets. Infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry. Medium tank goes in the range of artillery, but the artillery does get struck by a regular tank. Tank will strike fresh artillery, and again, takes it out on the base. Battlecopter strikes regular tank hits regular tank. Battlecopter. Even machine guns the battlecopter a little bit there. Neo tank, infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Medium tank finish off regular tank there. Shells the medium tank with the 4 health artillery. More medium tanks. Got 3 medium tanks on the right side of the map for Drake. Interrupts the capture, and still interrupts the capture even further with a 3rd battlecopter. He is like right now. Vonbolt is lacking anti-air in this region, though the battlecopters only have plus 10% firepower from the column towers. He has not captured his column towers, so at minus 20%, not to mention plus 10% defense. So the battlecopters won't have trouble versus the Neo tank, even if they are supposed to be a bit of a soft counter. Battlecopter, anti-air, and tank. Neo-tank does pull back away from the flock of battlecopters that's ruffling about. Takes out a pair of tanks there, the medium tanks. Black Boat has been summoned. He may go and try to drop on top of that comm tower, and eventually could do some naval drops over here later on. Trying to flip a city there. Right now, Drake has 40,000 income and turn of 174 versus 145, so Von Bolt is behind. He does flip 2 properties, so now they're even. Mech has a good strike there on tank. Battlecopter gets shot down. Anti-air battlecopter and pair of artillery. Hits the mech. Oh, I didn't see the mega tank last turn. Drops off the infantry unit to comm tower. Drake could pop his superpower this turn, but looks like he will not be able to. Artillery is in this defensive position, though a battlecopter could strike it. He'll be sacking it because the anti-air nearby. Neo-tank hits anti-air, knocks it out. We do have now a Typhoon available. Some units are getting pretty low in fuel. Battlecopter is 18 fuel. T-copter is now down to 0, so it will fall out of the sky. Bomber, artillery, tank, and anti-air. There's Typhoons, who's going to be expensive repairs, particularly that bomber there, not to mention the Neo-tank and a bunch of the other units on top of properties. The bomber is probably going to move up to engage the mega tank. Artillery, anti-air. T-copter does fall out of the sky. Oh, I just realized something as well. This property is still despicably neutral, but they both have an even amount of income. So, oh yeah, this property over here as well. So, those 2 properties are still despicably neutral. Does hit the medium tank there. Infantry machine guns up the artillery a little bit, but only a little bit. Infantry, battlecopter, tank. A lot of repairs. One of the Neo-tanks is on top of the city, so more repairs there. Artillery does strike the Neo-tank there, but thanks to 3 defense stars and on mission plus 10% defense. Ex Machina could be sung. It could strike these medium tanks. There's also a good chance it strikes the mega tank. Oh, that looks like a Ex Machina bait. It could strike right on this anti-air. Could also strike right here to also hit this mega tank. It wouldn't surprise me if Ex Machina is going to land right here. Wouldn't surprise me if it lands right here. That seems like a pretty good spot since it hits the mega tank, a pair of battlecopters and tanks. So yeah, I think it will strike right here. Oh, nope. It struck this tank, which also hits all of that, as well as the anti-air and infantry. That means the bomber can help close the distance. The anti-air is locked down, which means there's no anti-air in this next turn for Von Bolt. So the bomber can close the distance on the mega tank. And the tank could try closing distance onto the anti-air as well. But it goes to the medium tank there. Hits the medium tank, hits the medium tank. Hits a regular tank there. Do now have a tsunami now available. I didn't realize to see the Drake battleship last turn. And we got now a Von Bolt battleship. Von Bolt battleship could get some good coverage in this region. It could also help lock down these bases. Battleship strikes the infantry unit there. Getting 700 funds worth of damage. You monster. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter. Anti-air strikes the bomber. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Hits the artillery. Hits the artillery. We almost have enough for another Typhoon, which is possible this turn. Just needs a little bit more damage, but looks like he ran out of steam. There's Typhoon now available, but there's going to be a lot of extra power charge lost. Medium tank shows strike medium tank. Does strike at the medium tank there with the artillery. Hits the anti-air, hits the anti-air. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter, battlecopter strikes battlecopter, hits the battlecopter, hits the infantry. Battlecopters are both pretty low on fuel. They'll probably be joined next turn. We have 2 health. Bomber, infantry, infantry, and artillery. Typhoon activated once again. Hits the artillery, so the Neotink will be struck by the artillery. Taking quite a bit of hits there. Vom Bolt will end, or Drake will enter 178 versus Vom Bolt's 117. Look, pretty big losses that turn. Does strike the tank there, finish off the battlecopter, hits the tank. Another bomber, tank, infantry, infantry, and infantry. Battleship heading down south for the winter. What's the range of this battleship again? Okay, is the Neotank stays out of its range, just had to double check that. Infantry, battlecopter, anti-air, and another anti-air. Looks like Red or Orange Star is rotating around up front, trying to reestablish his front line. Infantry unit does get struck. Anti-air hits infantry unit there. Mega tank hits artillery, but it's in range of another artillery. And that artillery does get struck by a battlecopter, but thanks to this being a Drake battlecopter, hardly did anything. And the Mega Tank appears to be in range of the bombers, so the artillery may just strike the anti-air to knock it out. Now, what got it looks like that battlecopter over here got destroyed, lost all of its fuel. It was at 1 health, probably 1% health. Does suffer the Mega Tank there. Mega Tank gets bombed. Regular tank, Ex Machina strikes over here, locks down this flank. Anti-air is knocked out, so the bomber can advance safely. Hit the Neo tank. I suppose it still does 2 of anti-air. Does strike the Neo tank there, knocks it out. Another bomber, infantry, anti-air, and infantry. Drake's bomber, of course, has less firepower, so it's not too particularly great. Does sack 2 of anti-air to take out the bomb or hit the bomber. This anti-air is out of range. This Mega Tank is down to 1 ammo, so you can throw the 2 of tank into it to remove its ammo safely enough. That's probably a good idea. To actually do disarm the Mega Tank with a 2 of tank. That 2 of tank's not going to do much else. So might as well sack it there. Artillery strikes the Mega Tank, gets a good amount of damage there. I suppose the bomber could just finish it off. Get some good hits there. Bomber heads to the anti-air, knocks it out. Takes out the other anti-air as well, so he has air supremacy over on the right flank. Hits the artillery a couple times. So yeah, with the bomber now over here, sending the 2 elf Mega Tank or 2 elf tank in the Mega Tank to remove its last bit of ammo like that, means it only has a machine gun. And now 3 elf medium tank managed to get a point off of the Mega Tank, though it did take a bit of machine gun damage. Now Tsunami's not available, so that Mega Tank or that medium tank can be then sent down to 1 health, but not 1% health. Does end the Mega Tank's turn on top of the city, so it can get a resupply. Pair of anti-airs up here, so one of the bombers could all just finish off the Mega Tank. They're both at 7 health. He could actually send the one bomber in to destroy it. With how little fuel they have, maybe, yeah, send a bomber into it and join it to combine their fuel, as well as get a bit of refund. Battlecopter strikes the battleship. Bomber sorting up north. That bomber goes to the tank and machine guns it down. Does put some rounds in that artillery piece there. Those of the Mega Tank will live for this turn. Anti-air, battlecopter, and tank anti-air. They'll strike the regular tank there. Bombs the battleship. Hits the bomber there, knocks it out. Black boat does trap the bomber, at least from this side. Infantry, artillery, tank, and battlecopter. Fighter is probably a little bit late by Drake. He probably could have stand to get it much sooner with the amount of bombers on the field. Bomber sunks the battleship. Doing some good hits there. Tank, anti-air, infantry, and fighter. Battlecopter finish off the battleship. Ex Machina could be deployed out next turn. If Ex Machina is going to land, it'll probably strike right here. Or no, it'll probably strike right here. Hit the Neo-Tank, battlecopter, and artillery. The bombers here. Could possibly strike right here. Hard to say. The Mega Tank is up to 7 health now, so it may strike just right here. Oh no! Strikes the black boat. It looks like it landed right here. Bomber does strike the Mega Tank. And we have another Typhoon available. Mega Tank or Neo Tank hits Mega Tank. Does machine gun it down? Does machine gun it down? Now the Typhoon activated. Shells the Neo Tank a little bit there. Hits the regular anti-air. Hits the bomber. Takes out the Neo Tank. Battlecopter, medium tank, infantry, and anti-air. Anti-air hits fighter, and fighter does get shot down. Battlecopter hits tank, tank hits tank. Do have an APC on the field. Fighter strikes the bomber, nearly taking it out in one shot. Neo tank, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Bomber heading on the right, of course, at 1 health. Maybe we're going to try to resupply with the black boat. Right now, Von Boat has 40,000 income versus 38. It's probably still district neutral, and Von Boat does not capture the other labs, so he does not have a backup. Medium tank, anti-air, battlecopter, and another anti-air. Battlecopter strikes the regular tank there. Medium tank does strike anti-air. Medium tank strikes anti-air. Does finish off the 1 health fighter. Neo tank infantry, medium tank. And center of 200,000. Vulnerable is at 120. Of course, multiple projects trying to be captured does interrupt that capture severely. This one so has 13 capture progress remaining, so 2 more turns. Neo tank battlecopter. Artillery, infantry, battlecopter, and neo tank. Neo tank does go down there. Neo tank, artillery. Hits the anti-air. Artillery does strike the medium tank, hits the infantry unit there. Got another neo tank, artillery and artillery. Or, wait, wrong side. Medium tank, battlecopter, artillery, and tank. So, Vomble's go for health node, battlecopter, generally a good idea for him. Forces one not only to pull out anti-airs, but also... Yeah, I don't know what I'm going with my thought. My mind's melted right now. Been drinking some water and caffeine, but still having trouble waking myself with my afternoon crash. Battlecopter, double anti-air, and tank. Does the battlecopter there, hits the battlecopter there, hits infantry. Battlecopter to strike the Neo tank, finish off that capturing unit there. Neo tank gets the first strike. Ex Machina fires, connects to the 2 Neo tanks, the Black Boat and Battlecopter, which means all of these units can push a bit more aggressively. Another Typhoon is available. Tanks hit the medium tank. Typhoon now activated. There was a tank, battlecopter, and double infantry. We do have another battleship on the field. Does hit this Neo tank a couple times. Does take out a battlecopter there. And does sack that 1 health Neo tank. Battleship strikes the Neo tank. 1 health artillery does get a point of damage on the medium tank. Finish off a medium tank there. And looks like the bomber is still fluttering about, has 0 fuel, so will crash the ground next turn. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Does hit another tank there. The tank does go down. There's just some of the wounded units there, particularly the artillery. Tank, battlecopter, or bomber, and pair of infantry. Another Drake bomber. Battlecopter strike the medium tank a couple times. Does lose one of those battlecopters. There's a tank there as well. Anti-air even firing against that medium tank. That medium tank has been shelled and hit so many times. Tank, anti-air. Neo tank does strike a medium tank there. Another medium tank down south. Does flip up per city there. Shells the Neo tank for a little bit of damage. Hits the battlecopter. Hits the anti-air a couple times. Medium tank, artillery, and infantry. Hits the tank, hits the anti-air. It's the interior again. We do have another typhoon available. As long as the game goes on, maybe better go for some typhoons. Or tsunamis, I should say. Which help bleed off their opponent's fuel. Especially when they get on number of battle copters he has. Does try to flip another city on the right or left flank. Hits the APC twice. Takes out battle copter there. Hits the A-tier. Does strike the Neo tank. Tank infantry and another tank. Does hit the A-tier. Hits the infantry unit there. Beam tank strikes artillery. And the artillery or battlecopter or battleship is advancing up north. Does hit the regular tank there. It's no tsunami available. Destruct the A-tier, hits the artillery. Looks like you're trying to go for another Ex Machina, but was unable to succeed. Typhoon's now activated there, so Fombo will likely get his Ex Machina next turn. He has his Ex Machina, hits the A-tier, bomber strikes beam tank. Looks like Fombo 6 hits there. The Ex Machina will very likely strike and hit this medium tank there. Just need to move that other medium tank out of the way first. Right now, Von Bolt's getting now below 80,000, 74,000 funds in the field versus 190, 220. Is not good for Von Bolt. Not to mention his HQ capture or lab capture, since this one has never been captured, and Von Bolt just resigns. This is Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Give me a moment. I need to fetch myself a cold drink to help wake me up. Please give me a moment. I forgot I left the fridge. And there we go. That'll hopefully warm me up. My mouse is broken. It double clicked. Let's do this one here. And I think you guys want me to change the color for this one here. So we'll just do green earth for Javier. That seems pretty good to me. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the left side as Green Earth Javier, we got Rebe Maw. So on the right side as the Red Fire Kindle, we got Chos 7. Some sort of weird form of chess, I guess. Either way, let's get started. It is a 3-base map, 1 airport. I've cast this map quite a bit in the Jazarun version of this map. Looks like it's almost 1-to-1, including the odd number of cities in this map. This one is symmetrical with itself. Excuse me. I do like this map in Days of Ruin. I mean, particularly the Tiny Wars. Oh great, am I now getting hiccups? I might be getting hiccups right now. We have a Javier tank on the field. There's a lot of property in the center, so Kindle's urban combat should be very nice. Though she cannot run about indirects versus Javier, since he gets plus from some indirect defense. And my apology if you start hearing hiccups, because I feel like I'm getting hiccups. We do have another tank down south. Infantry tank. Probably a good idea for Kindle just go for mass tanks against Javier. Artillery, infantry. Got interrupt capture here. Also sort of pins down this tank there. It can't hit this tank, but it'll have to hit it on top of the city, so it won't be great. Probably just turn around, shoot the infantry, you know, that's capturing up the comm tower. Hits that infantry unit there. The nice thing about also, if that tank were to stay there and shoot that tank there, then this tank could move on top of the city and then get a booster strike onto that same tank. But that's probably one reason why he pulled back. Comm tower will be captured. Another tank and pair of infantry on the left flank. Recon forward, tanks advancing, hits the captain squad over here. Tank, and infantry. Boy surrounds the tank. Another pair of artillery. So Javier's going very healthy number artillery. He's anti-indirect, not the indirect specialist. Tank, and recon. And if he were to capture the other comm tower, that may be just game over, so maybe he's just trying to push the comm tower as a game-winning condition. To get additional defense globally, not to mention offense globally. Looks like Javier is actually front shifting towards the center now. You have some tanks up here, scattering of tanks. This tank can strike this tank there, though if she somehow squeezes out an urban blight, can help soften it up. Does free the tank. Tank hits tank. Does sack the tank there to hit tank. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Obviously captures the central city in the map. One city is still despicably neutral. This one here. Try and flip this city now. Tank does hit tank. Artillery's advancing, and Kindle cannot push through that. Battlecopter would be useful pushing through it though, but needs to still advance. Tank is tank there, goes with an urban blight, soften up all the units on top of urban properties, which is tank on top of this comm tower. Is that unit there, hits that infantry unit there. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air, and infantry. And we've got a tower shield. Tower shield doubles the effect of the comm tower, so he gets additional +10/+10 global for one comm tower captured, not to mention activating power or super, giving an additional +10/+10. So he does have quite a bit of extra defense this turn. Not to mention he's basically bulletproof to indirects, going for like +20 and +40% indirect defense. But Kindle has deployed out 0 indirects. Does get some good damage going. Good core of artillery there. Got infantry, and or a neo tank. This infantry unit there twice. Does park a tank on top of urban property, so it can get urban blighted. Not to mention it's next to urban property, so it can receive boosted strikes. Artillery is a little exposed there, but needs a lot of mobile units with all of these artillery. Javier's gotten a massive number of artillery. He has 5 on the field. Right now, Kindle has 6 regular tanks. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and infantry. Try and flip some properties down south. Does not start capturing this 2 heavy infantry. Might as well. Javier does not have any anti-airs up north, so this battlecopter has a bit of free reign, though this anti-air is probably hitting up north to help counter it. And of course, he does have some zone battlecopters. Tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Tank hits tank. Infantry unit does not take out tank. Interrupts capture. Right now, Kindle does 24,000 income versus 23. It's some of these artillery. We're not having trouble breaking on through. The artillery is going to be shelling everything. It's probably going to be a very painful next turn for Kindle. Tank, anti-air, battlecopter, and infantry. Tower shield, I have a feeling is going to be popped. Tower shield has been activated. Start continue capturing. Get some of those units up north. Does take out that tank there. Neo tank and pair of infantry. Tank hits tank. Anti-air hits battlecopter. Do have now urban blight activated. Tank hits tank, or tank hits artillery. Tank hits tank. Tower shields, however, causing a lot of issues. Tank. And the artillery are going to be shelling everything in the front line once again. Kindle's just taking a lot of losses from those artillery. Neo-tank down south is going to start making some progress, but of course got a Neo-tank back here who is blighted. Artillery, infantry, and anti-air. Hits the artillery there. Lost the coin flip, or sacked it I should say. Pops another urban blight, does... Oh, does Neo-tank get a booster strike on that regular tank there. Hits the artillery, hits the tank, does not finish off. Yeah, I really don't think that Urban Blight was very good. Hits infantry unit, hits some of these units in the back line. But overall, the Urban Blight did not do much. Didn't reflect much, let's just take a look at its repair. Javier subterranean for 23,600. And paid like 3,000 funds of repairs. That wasn't much. Yeah, that was a horrible Urban Blight. Artillery hits the battlecopter a couple times. Artillery, and tank. Boost strike there hits the artillery, so I'm surprised I didn't one-shot it, honestly. Do you see potentially a Tower of Power next turn? Neo-tank's out of range of Neo-tank. And this Neo-tank is in range of an artillery, does pull back out of its range. just pops tower shields, probably the better option. Go for 1-2 punch. Artillery, and infantry. Try and capture that property now. Boost strike there, regular strike there, regular strike there. Pops another urban blight, strikes a regular tank there, pair of artillery, battlecopter, and infantry. That's about it. Booster strike there, but thanks to the tower shield, able to take a lot more abuse. Tank, tank, tank. Another tower shield activated there, the 1-2 punch. Try and flip some properties as well. Right now, Kindle Cell is 24,000 for 23,000. Get some hits down south. ATR infantry commits a base skip and battlecopter. And it's 115. Kindle has 104. It really does feel like Javier is in better position overall this game, but the value is still pretty even. Another Neotank by Kindle. Neotank strikes anti-air, battlecopter hits artillery, tank hits artillery. The tower shield providing so much extra defense. And looks like the Neotank gets shelled not twice, but thrice. Bring it down to 2 health. Takes out the regular tank there. Neotank takes out regular tank. And looks like might be out of range in this Neotank. Yep, thanks to the forest slowing its movement. Trying to capture some cities here. This has 3 capture progress remaining. This one has 10. It's a possible double flip next turn. Takes out a tank there. Hits the artillery. Gets some good damage there. Neotanks onto the city. Tank, anti-air tank. Does pop an urban blight there. Neotank does strike the regular tank there. And battlecopter anti-air strikes another tank. Tank, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. Neotank gets boost strike onto the Neotank. Infantry, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Artillery, tank, tank. Neotank finish off Neotank. Tank bullets sway forward, hits infantry there, boost strike there. Takes out the anti-air. Anti-air, tank, infantry. We got another tower shield. It's Neotank not twice but thrice. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and tank. Anti-air push forward takes out the battlecopter. Tank, infantry, and infantry. Move another battlecopter down south. Overall just stalled out, trying to avoid the tower shield. We do have almost another urban blight available. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. Tank hits tank, or tank hits artillery. Neotank does fall back to HQ. Does pick off an anti-air up north. A pair of battlecopters here, and 1 battlecopter in the center. Infantry, 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 and battlecopter. Must be paying quite a bit in day-to-day repairs. tank gets struck twice. Another tower shield activated. Tank heads up north, hits the anti-air, hits the battlecopter. We do potentially see a high society. Right now, high society will result in 26 properties, so 78% firepower bonus, which is quite significant. Which will easily help overcome the tower shield. There's enough tanks nearby, maybe it is a good idea to go for a high society. She's been having trouble with these tower shields, and this will easily overpower the defense from tower shield. Just an urban blight. Gets a nice boost strike there. The problem is these units even linger around with 1 health, even with boosted strikes. Infantry anti-air tank. Our Neotank gets struck, Neotank gets struck, Neotank gets struck, Neotank gets struck. The Neotank just got shelled by 5 artillery pieces. This one could make it a 6 shots right there. And did. Does not take up the Neotank, close to 1% health though. Tank, and infantry. Does take out an outlying infantry unit there. Neotank, tank, and infantry. Battlecopter and tank hits another tank there. Hits artillery in the back line, hits a tank. Finish off artillery piece. Does strike a tank. Finish off. Does not finish off the Neotank. So now it's even closer, 1% health. Got another tower shield activated. Does finish off the Neotank. Anti-air almost gets knocked out. And right now, Kindle's having trouble with her anti-airs in order to help engage the battlecopters. Javier is 133 value versus 72. Kim's about 2 turns behind, which is quite critically bad. Urban Blight has been summoned. Anti-air strikes the battlecopter. Does get a boost strike, hits that battlecopter. Anti-air tank and recon. Does get some damage going. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Get some good hits there. Battlecopter does strike the battlecopter. Neotank finishes off artillery. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Tank with the infantry unit down south. There's no anti-airs down south, so this battlecopter could get a good strike on this tank next turn. Anti-air could try rotating around to help pursue that battlecopter. Hits the tank there, hits the Neotank. Does take out that battlecopter there, but on the other side of the mountainside. Urban Blight is available. Pops Urban Blight. Javier has 108 versus 69, so she's still pretty far behind. Does hit a battlecopter, takes out a battlecopter, hits a battlecopter, finish off battlecopter. Neotank does strike artillery. And battlecopter does not strike that tank there. I'm not sure why he didn't take, she didn't take a free shot there. It wouldn't be losing any moon speed to go back up north the next turn. Pythagorean theorem does not exist in this game. So miss out a free shot on that tank, I would say. There's no anti-airs to stop it. Power shield activated. Neo tank slowly being whittled down. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. Does hit that infantry unit there. Tank, and anti-air. Anti-air, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Interrupts the capture down south, machine gunning this tank a bit. Right now, Javier does have 25,000 to 22,000 income. Urban Blight's been summoned and does resign there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I apologize everyone, I just have no energy today, so I'm going to call the stream a little bit early. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, have a good evening.